Okay, I'm gonna tell a little story because I want to. So back in say 2024, it's pretty much on the day before. It was on New Year's Eve. I was living with my old college teacher, and I guess her like water broke. A water leak happened in her house, and so I had to find a place to stay. I was going through a tough time at that point in my life, so obviously I didn't know a lot of people. So I stayed with a friend that I'm not speaking with anymore. But we'll go to that to a different video. But pretty much, she kind of pre-pressured me. Of course I'm an adult, so I could always say no, but I don't know, I never tried it before, and so I tried weed. And it was my first time and my last time doing it. I don't know why, but I just don't like it. And it was just a very interesting experience. And it wasn't any type of weed. It was dab, which I don't really know if there's a difference. I'm not into that stuff, so it was a dab. So obviously she burnt it, and I tried smoking it. And so pretty much I did that, and so I did the first time. I died. Literally died. And so pretty much I felt like I couldn't breathe. I felt like I just was coughing like crazy. And I watched a lot of videos. People are like, oh yeah, that's normal. That's the high, but I'm like, what? I don't like that feeling. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I felt like there was not enough oxygen in my lungs. And so then pretty much, I was just trying to see what was happening. Not much was happening, to be honest. I just felt very shaky, and then I started feeling more relaxed, and I guess that's the point of it, and then she wanted to do a bigger one onto me, so she did a bigger, thicker dab, I guess, and so that's exactly what I did. And then this is when things started going crazy. So pretty much I did so much, and I was dying. It was only it was my third hit, because she kept asking me do more, do more, do more. So I was like, okay. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And so then I was going to sleep, and then and I was trying to go to sleep. It was at that point it was almost 12 o'clock and stuff, and I was trying to go to sleep, and then she's like, oh wait, we go get the mail. So I'm like, okay. And she's like, do you want to drive to the mail? I was like, bitch, I can't drive. Everything felt so things started feeling dizzy. When I closed my eyes, I felt like I was sinking. And so I'm like, I cannot drive. So she drove, and she was high herself. And so I'm like, she's driving crazy. In the car, I felt like I was in space. Bro, I was in space. I felt like I was in space. Everything felt so fast. And then everything felt like I was going into a black hole. And so then, later, one second. And then later, we went back to the house. And so then we went back to the house, and then, we, we're getting ready to go to bed and stuff, you know. And then I'm like, I could not fall asleep for the life of me, because like I couldn't go to sleep because I kept, every time I closed my eyes, I felt like I was sinking, like a black hole was sinking, and then like things were like popping up in my head, you know, and it felt so weird to me. And then I finally did go to sleep, and then I woke up again, and then I felt like I was sinking again, and then like it was the weirdest feeling. And in the morning closed, and I was like, I was so like it was so weird, you know. And then like I lost my I literally lost, what is it called? I literally lost like my thing I had. It was part of my phone, and I lost, I guess, overnight, and I never found it. It was so weird. I'm like, where did it go? And so it just disappeared, and I swear I dreamt about it, and it was so weird. And then the morning comes, and then we're in the car and stuff, and then I was going back home and stuff, and I was freaking out because I never did that before, and I did not like the experience. And so I was like, do I smell like it? And I was freaking out. So like put a bunch of perfume on and stuff, and then I like quickly like put like a little laundry when I got home, to make it seem like it doesn't smell like anything. And then like I got to smell it and everything, it was fine. But that was like my experience. I was like, so that happened. Something I never talked about, but don't fall into peer pressure. I was like 22 or something. No wait. No, I was 24. Because it was 2024. Yeah, I was 24. But I know I was adult and stuff, but I still got peer pressured. Felt like I had to. And it was just the weirdest feeling. Like, it's a feeling I would not want to be in again. And never did that ever again. But that was so weird. But, yeah.